The OP1 8K was a mouse I was super excited to get my hands on back in early 2024. While patiently waiting for a Canadian release, I was constantly seeing reviews praising the mouse for pretty much everything about it. A premium feeling mouse with a high level of customization options for enthusiasts, the lowest latency of any modern gaming mouse on the market, and 8K implementation during a time where everyone thought they might actually use it, and all of this for a very reasonable 75 US dollars had me super interested. But all that being said, we are well into 2025 now. Boydzy has posted countless reviews of other mice on the Chinese market that boast similar, even better specs, and Endgame Gear themselves have even released a wireless version of this mouse. So I figured now was a good time to get my thoughts out there on how good this thing actually is 1 year after its release. One of the major talking points around the OP1 when it first came out was the wire. Its specs were so impressive on paper that many were willing to deal with the con of having a wire on their mouse in order to deal with all the pros that came along with it. For one, and probably the most important for everyday use, was the lack of battery concern. The OP1 is an impressive 50 grams, by no means the lightest on the market at the time, and certainly not the lightest by today's standards, but the wire allows for features like 8K and motion sync to be enabled without the need for either daily charging or a heavy battery. Even mice from good brands, like say this Vaxi XES, need to be charged every day or two when I try to enable all the performance features. For enthusiasts, the OP1 also includes the lowest latency on the market, shaving off milliseconds here and there that, while it might not necessarily be felt in everyday use, it is pretty cool, and is also extremely customizable. I don't personally delve into that side of the mouse, swapping out switches and such, because I truly only care about what comes out of the box and how it feels to use, save for the additions of a couple things like grips and skates. But these are things that should be seriously considered when buying for anyone who is interested in them, and there are other reviews out there that I'll put on screen that dive more into that side of the mouse. Next up, and arguably the most important part of any mouse, is the shape. Instead of simply sizing down the original XM1 shape, similar to how other brands like Razer did it with mice like this Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed, the OP1 maintains a fairly normal hump height and length with a very narrow width. In my mind, this creates a mouse that is pretty good for small to medium hand, claw, and palm grip, while still allowing people with larger hands, like myself, a selection of comfortable hybrid grips. In my case, my grip switches between fingertip and a type of fingertip where I anchor the mouse to one part of my hand in a sort of half claw, and in both cases the size did not bother me at all. That of course also meaning that I definitely think the OP is a little bit too small for a true palm or true claw grip for those with truly large hands. Over time, the shape is something I came to love, but I don't think the shape is universal enough for everyone to want to go all in on this mouse without considering other options. Something like this Skyrox V6, for example, is cheaper, wireless, has a better sensor, and is much more suitable for claw grip in my opinion. Overall, the OP180K is still an impressive mouse. It has a fairly unique shape that might be perfect for some people, but despite its impressive specs, is not a mouse that I would recommend to absolutely everyone. Everything else about the mouse maintains the quality standard that Endgame Gear is well known for, and the only real problems that I could find with it really come down to personal preference. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this video helped you dial in that future mouse purchase just a little bit more, and I'll be posting a lot about peripherals, aiming, FPS games, and the like, so like and subscribe for things like that.